covered insect.
What is that?
You tell us something.
What's that you say?
Yeah, they come back every time. Hey. So here we are. We're back. We had a little spring break on ReW and WhO, and now we're back in Auto Shrunken Head. We're floating around. It is May 11th already. Can you believe it? And it's a gorgeous day in New York City. And today is a really beyond special day. It's National Eat What You Want Day. How often does this happen? So we have a whole bunch of like delicious little treats, but it's also National Nutty Fudge Day. So besides it being Eat Whatever You Want Day, we have some fudge without the nuts because nuts are dangerous these days. If you're allergic, I don't remember that when I was a kid, the allergies to nuts, but this is nut-free fudge, so it's delicious. Our guests are really in for treats today. And what else happened on this day? MaRLoWE is our WHO, but he will float in at some time, and I'm sure he will look as fabulous as he always does. So on this day, May 11th, let's see, 2 artworks set world records at a Christie's auction in New York with Pablo Picasso's painting, Woman of Algiers, version O, selling for $160 million. You know, how much money did Pablo Picasso get for that? I'm not quite sure, but somebody did. Also, Alberto Giacometti's sculpture, Pointing Man, sold for $141.3 million. I wonder how much Mr. Alberto got for that. I'm sure Christie's got a pretty penny, and maybe that's who we should become when we're older and wiser. We should be auction houses, and that's when we make the ch-ch-ch-ching. Anyhow, those artists, I read something recently that said, buy art from living artists, because the dead ones don't really need the money. And I think that makes a lot of sense. You said that to me, right, Harley? Yeah. In Nepal, Sherpa Appa Sherpa achieves a new record by climbing Mount Everest for the 21st time. Can you imagine? Someone once told me that I climbed Mount Everest because somebody told them that I did, and they told them that I was going to
Twice.
And they said that I was going to be climbing it again, and I had no idea. So when I was approached and said, oh, I hear you're going to climb Mount Everest again, I was like, oh, really? But this person has me beat because they did it 21 times. So that's why I put that little fact in here. The first heart-lung transplant took place on this day in Baltimore, my new home away from home, thanks to Monterey Records, my little record label. I have to add little in there, but no, they're huge. They're giant. They're the best. Look up Monterey Records. They're in Baltimore. They have a club called ReWorb, which just had its 1-year anniversary. And they'll be celebrating here at Auto Shrunken Head on June 18th. We're going to be playing a fun night show. So, Baltimore, I love you. And they had the first heart-lung transplant, so look at that. 40 people died and 150 people were injured in a fire at Bradford City Football Ground in England on this day. So that is not a happy day. So those are all angels with us on this day, and we are celebrating all of your lives. Madonna's song, Crazy for You, who remembers that, went to #1 on this day. That's when she got to play a singer in a nightclub in that movie, Crazy for You. Yeah, and that was just when Madonna was like happening. It was 1985. It was just when she was really turning into Madonna. Now, she's not really that girl anymore. She's Madonna now. Like, God, what a transformation of a human. Andrew Lloyd Webber and T.S. Eliot's musical Cats premiered for the first time on this day. We're just waiting for you, MaRLoWE. And you come in on during Cats, and that makes sense, because you almost look like you could be in Cats. I know, you really could. And then you come for this one. It's the day that Betty Davis Eyes, Kim Carnes, hit #1 and stayed there for 9 weeks. Did you like Betty Davis Eyes?
I loved it, yeah.
You really? All right.
Well, it did last too long.
Well, I just saw like this weekend. I don't know what it was, but there was a bunch of Betty Davis movies on it. My favorite.
It was Joan Crawford.
It was her too. Joan
it was
Crawford.
both?
Oh yeah.
No, it was Mommy Dearest.
Oh,
It was
Yeah.
on all day, marathon on Mother's Day. And then my kid walks in, she's like, "Your figures are watching Mommy Dearest." I know.
Oh, man.
I only was watching parts of it, but then there was Betty Davis movies on too. I love old movies.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're the best.
They are.
Pete Rose on this day, 39, steals second, third, and home base in one inning. Can you imagine? One inning. And then didn't he get busted for like gambling about baseball?
I think he got busted for steroids.
No, I think he got busted for like, he was gambling like, I don't know, he was a tricky guy. But he stole second, third, and home in one inning. I mean, nobody's as good as you, Pete Rose. That's amazing.
Mark Kent.
Ted Turner manages an Atlanta Brave games on this day, and then he ends up buying the team. Yeah, good old Mr. Jane Fonda. The last broadcast of Marcus Welby, MD, was on this day. You remember Marcus Welby? You don't?
I mean, I remember the name. But
You don't remember Marcus? Do you remember Marcus
I
Welby?
remember the name.
No, but oh my God, I remember Marcus Welby, MD. Holy cow, you guys are lost. Bad Bad Leroy Brown by Frank Sinatra. Did you ever know that Frank Sinatra sang that song? It
Not
hit
at
number
all.
83 on the charts on this day in 1974. He covered that song. I only know the other version. I actually sing it sometimes.
I do too.
It's so much fun. I know. Tubular Bells. Does anyone remember that by
Yeah.
Mike? Oh, you know that?
That was the theme song of The Exorcist.
I don't
I was in
remember
Georgetown
that.
when they were
I didn't
filming
even
that.
know. Oh, Linda Blair.
Yeah,
Well, that hit number 7 on this day.
I like that. That's a great song
See,
from
you
all
know
the way.
that. You don't know Marcus Welby, but you know Tubular Bells. Yeah. Steely Dan releases Ricky Don't Lose That Number on this day. Everyone knows that, right? The Giants trade Willie Mays to the Mets for pitcher Charlie Williams and cash. Can you imagine? They traded him for a pitcher and cash.
That was
Back in the day, right? I know. I couldn't believe that. John Lennon on this day said his phone is tapped by the FBI on the Dick Cavett show. Well, John Lennon, yeah, well, you know what, John Lennon? You were ahead of your time because I'm sure we're being tapped right now by the FBI as well. And anywhere you go, now we have cell phones, John Lennon. So if you're watching or listening, you know what?
Everyone's tapped now.
We're all tapped. So, you know, you were just one of the original
Big
taps.
Brother was still a little.
Well, they might have had more skills than us, but now they're really.
got things.
Yeah, exactly. It's the day that Sammy Davis Jr. wed Alto Vice. Alto Vice? How did he? Did they stay together forever? Did they get divorced, Sammy Davis Jr.? I don't know.
He was with
The Candyman.
some blonde Swedish chick.
Was that her? Alto Vice? It
Britt
could be.
Eklund or something.
No, he was with Britt Eklund. Wasn't Rod Stewart with
Okay,
her?
that was a good one.
Monty Python troupe formed on this day. Oh, Monty Python. Richard Harris released MacArthur Park on this day. Students and police battle in Paris. 100 are injured on this day. See, Paris was always a stomping ground for activism. I hope that they're surviving right now. The 100 millionth U.S. telephone was connected on this day in 1967. Can you imagine how many phones there are now? If there was 100 million in 1967, I couldn't even imagine. There's
They
probably
keep track of that. They don't
They
even
must.
have phone books anymore. Everybody
They
has
don't?
multiple
It's all
cell
online,
phones.
right? Yeah. Today, Ellis Island was added to the Statue of Liberty National Monument. I think that that's a pretty cool thing. Kooky Kooky Lend Me Your Comb by Burns and Connie Stevens. Do you know that? Kooky?
Yeah.
You do? See, I don't. It was number
That was
4.
Sunset Strip, 77 Sunset Strip.
Wow. Elvis Presley, first entry on the UK charts with Heartbreak Hotel on this day.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know that. Rogers and Bearers musical Once Upon a Mattress premiered in New York City on this day. I saw the remake. You remember that? We went and Sarah Jessica Parker was in it. She was good, I have to say. The Pinky Lee Show. Did you ever hear of that? It was the last broadcast ever in 1956. I just loved her name, Pinky Lee. The first Polaroid camera was sold on this day for $89.95 in New York City in 1949. First Polaroid camera. Siam changed its name to Thailand on May 11th in 1949. So the king of Siam, the king and I, is dead after that because there's no more Siam. B.F. Goodrich announced the development of tubeless tires in Akron, Ohio on this day. And first regularly scheduled TV broadcasts, 3 nights per week, happened on this day. And 1929.
Yeah, TV back then.
Yeah, 1929. And birthdays. Matthew Lawrence's birthday is today. He was on Dynasty, so that's the only reason I said that, because I loved Dynasty. James Haven. Anyone know who he is? Of course not. He's Angelina Jolie's brother. Isn't that sad? No one even knows who he is, but we do. Happy birthday, James Haven. And he appeared in CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, and Monster Ball. See, who knows that, right? He's also this.
Monster Ball was Lady Gaga, right?
No, that was her album, yes. But wasn't Halle Berry in Monster Ball? Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie.
So Angelina Jolie's brother is in that movie.
Yeah, you only knew him because she was tongue kissing with him.
Isn't it Billy Bob Thornton also?
Oh,
It's also-
Angelina
It's
was.
also Billy Bob Thornton is in that movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
And
in
her
that
brother.
movie. That makes sense.
Didn't she say he was her brother later on too?
Yeah. Katie Wagner, the daughter of Robert Wagner, and you know who, Natalie Wood. It's her birthday
She
today.
would. I
Yeah.
heard she related to Frank.
I doubt it. Martha Quinn's birthday is today. Yes, that VJ. Yes, I actually heard her on the radio today. Eric Burden, the vocalist from the Animals, House of the Rising Sun's birthday is today.
Love him.
I love that.
Les Chadwick
Awesome.
from Jerry and the Pacemakers' birthday is today. Louis Farrakhan's birthday is today. Where is he these days? I never see him anywhere.
He got blacklisted, I think.
Did he? I don't know.
He was speaking the truth too much.
Yeah, he's not around. I would think that he would be out there. John Michael Hayes, the screenwriter of Disney's Peter Pan. He outlived Peter. Douglas Adams,